Good morning, everybody. I hope this video finds you well. I want to talk a little bit about Quanta. There's all kinds of things you can find and videos you can find about Quanta, and they're better than I am. Basically, they're done by quantum physicists, but basically it all revolves around the idea that all of us are made up of tiny things. Our body, our hands made up of skin. Skin's made up of cells. Cells are made up of atoms. Atoms are made up of particles. Particles are made up of quanta. So when I talk about quanta, I'm talking about the stuff that makes everything. Zillions and zillions, Googles and Googles of tiny, tiny, tiny objects. String theory holds that this quanta is really one shape that adopts various forms. Like, I don't know. Let's imagine this Lego as a basic form. Okay. You take two of the forms together and you can create this. Or you can go ahead and take three, create this, take four, create something like this. You can make different forms and different shapes. This collection of different strings is known as a quanta, and there's many, many different kinds of quanta. There's basic quanta that may look something like this, and then far more advanced kinds of quanta. There's all kinds of really great equations in supportive of this, and if you're a mathematical wonk, you would really love to read it, especially the elegance of the Everett theory. Quanta, the problem is that it's so small you can't really detect it. So you detect quanta by inference. You say, well, if there's a rut in the road with a car track, a tire track in that rut in the muddy road, then you infer that a car drove through and created that. That's how quantum scientists are coming up with these ideas of such things such as string theory, and that's where quanta comes from, string theory. What do you know, right? This is not, I really don't want to get involved in the mathematic treatise to prove somebody that quantum theory exists or that it's a viable one. There's different theories on the nature of the universe, and you can pick any one that you feel comfortable with. If you're a flat earther, well then go for it, guy. If you want to believe whatever political narratives exist, then go for it. I don't really care. But yeah, quantum theory is the thing that seems to fit with all this stuff, and it's the stuff that I talk about a lot. And so that's how it goes. Now, physicists it's been fairly recent, since the 1990s, when they started getting involved in this quantum stuff. And to them, quanta is everywhere. It looks like a big box. It's like we look upon us and we say this is blank, empty air, but it's not. It's filled with all kinds of quanta. It's like a soup. And there's so many different quanta and so many different things and so many different interactions. We're just now trying to figure out what's going on. And it looks like a big confusing box. It really does. Physicists who study the universe and study the world have identified all types of quanta forming complex relationships. And they're just now beginning to understand how they all fit together. But to many people, it looks like this. Eventually, they will see that there will be certain quanta configurations that might resemble aspects that are part of our very being. And once they understand these, in the realm of these, they will be able to see this. This is an ISB. This is quanta. This is the universe of observed quanta. And that's what we're talking about. The reason why I talk so much about quanta is because when I'm trying to describe the role consciousness has with soul, it confuses a lot of people. So you have to go down to the quantum aspects of all this. And that's why. It's not that it's very important that you get involved in the nuances, the way that quantum interacts, and the idea that quanta behavior changes via observer, which is really, really deep stuff. But the fact is that you have to recognize that thoughts influence quanta. And in this physical world, thoughts related to actions, verbalizations, or physical actions will cause changes to your travel vector upon this template. And that is what's very important. One day, the physicists will start associating particular quanta with the nature of our soul and consciousness. And when that happens, there will be some great discoveries. But I don't know. We'll see. I won't be around when that happens. Chances are you probably won't either. And that's the way it is, guys. So if you want to look up in quanta and you want to study quantum theory and quantum physics, that's what it's all about, and that's how you go about doing it. And it's a fundamental aspect of who we are and all of that. Okay? And with that, guys, until later, remember, I believe in you.